How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan. Born to battle. Storm just means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. When the star shines bright, that's where we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know what it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And I came across a pretty interesting interview from Jane Slater on the NFL Network's Good Morning Football program today. Cowboys fans know when Jane Slater talks about the Dallas Cowboys, it's about to go down. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. In the first clip, though, Jane Slater talks about how quiet the Dallas Cowboys offseason has been. So, angry Cowboys fans, let's go ahead and take a listen to what Jane Slater had to say during the interview on Good Morning Football.
Yeah, Jamie, this is going to be the 11th year of me covering the Dallas Cowboys for the NFL Network, and I can't think of a training camp heading into that we really haven't been talking about significant contract issues. The Cowboys, believe it or not, got things done in the offseason, and more specifically, George Pickens signed that franchise tag, and he will be reporting to camp. By all accounts, he was there, of course, at mandatory minicamp. He told me he doesn't expect any problems. We'll get more to him in a second. But I think one of the other things is these are the type of coaching staff that likes to go back to the board. What did they want to improve on from last year's camp? And Brian Schottenheimer said it was a more intentional training camp. He expects to have the guys doing more work in pads. The staff has adjusted their ramp up and recovery periods to improve conditioning. And so, when you look at Dallas, it's unlike a lot of other teams. A lot of people choose to live in the Dallas area. They're at the facility in the offseason. For the most part, they had everyone in the building during OTAs, with the exception of George Pickens, got him back for mandatory minicamp. So you guys know this. There's typically 2 installs when we talk about the offseason. They had a really good first install, so it seems like they're going to be way ahead this year as they implement this second install and when they get to training camp.
That quietness that she speaks about, that has truly worked in the Dallas Cowboys' favor this year. Keeping things close to the chest is something that I and a number of Dallas Cowboys fans have been asking for, and it's about damn time that we've got it. Honestly, Cowboys Nation, I believe this is the shoddy effect working in favor of keeping football operations exclusive during the offseason. Keep up the good work, shoddy. Now let's get into the second clip. In this clip, Jane Slater speaks about where Dak Prescott can improve in his 11th year as the Dallas Cowboys QB1. So let's take a listen to that so we can come back and talk about it. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
When I talked to the training staff, or a lot of his coaches, I said, where is Dak Prescott still looking to improve in year 11? Obviously, he's talked about the footwork in the offseason, and that's something that he's proud of. But the biggest thing for him is running this offense from under center. He said the defense has to respect the run, which opens up the passing game, and he goes out of shotgun. Defenses tend to anticipate the pass more often, so he believes being more comfortable under center makes that entire offense more balanced. When I went back and look at his numbers, Isaiah, he threw 12 touchdown passes from under center last season, more than his previous 3 seasons combined. And so my question for you is, how does that open up the offense when your quarterback is running more from under center? And what have you seen from him when he's running it out of shotgun?
Yeah, so the big difference for Dak Prescott in that system is obviously Schottenheimer and the ability to be able to have the play action. Dak Prescott is probably one of the more efficient play action passers in the game today. So if you're running him out of shotgun, the run is not necessarily so much of a threat. Obviously, with Javonte Williams in the backfield, what he was able to do last year, the more that you're able to utilize him in the running game, the more of a threat Dak Prescott is with the ability to get the ball out to CeeDee Lamb, get the ball out to George Pickens. So these guys have a lot of weapons. Obviously, Fergie in the middle as well. Dak is better from under center because he is a greater threat when he's coming off of play action.
Working under center is extremely important to add to the element of surprise for the offense. A number of times, if a quarterback is lined up in shotgun formation, you can bet your bottom dollar more often than not that it's a pass play. Being under center makes it hard for the defense to determine whether or not it's a pass play or it's a run play. On top of that, it allows your quarterback to run the play action, like he said, something that Dak Prescott strived off of in years prior. It's honestly crazy to know that Dak Prescott's only thrown 12 touchdowns under center, and that's the highest touchdown count in a few years prior, Cowboys Nation. That's pretty crazy to me. But let's go ahead and jump into the third clip. In this clip, Jane Slater speaks about what the offense can do to get better in 2026. So let's take a listen to that so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
Well, red zone execution is really an area they've got to focus on. It's gotten better from in years past, but Clayton Adams, their new OC, has really talked about also going back to that board. What do they need to focus on? And he said for him, it really is an issue of, look, they had a lot of self-inflicted wounds, especially when they got in that red zone. He said they need to use a better job of using the full width of the field. When there's only 5 or 6 yards of vertical space to work with, he said, you got to work on more of that lateral space. So that gives you an idea of kind of where they're drilling down. But I think going back to George Pickens, one of the things that's going to be interesting to watch is his alignment. Schottenheimer and his OC are expected to move Pickens around much more, including significant work from the slot. Now, that would be a notable change from last season. He lined up outside literally the majority of the year, playing inside less than 10% of the time. But the reason for that is they're hoping to create some of these favorable matchups against the linebackers and safeties.
Oh, they moving George Pickens around this year. Oh, boy, Cowboys Nation. The defense ain't going to know what to do with that if they do that for the Dallas Cowboys. But y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
I'm being keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
Cowboys Nation, I am looking forward for the season to start. I mean, I honestly wish that it was the end of August right now. We'd be going into my birthday as well as the last preseason game against the New Orleans Saints. But I'm going to keep it real with you, Cowboys Nation. I'm excited about this upcoming season for our Dallas Cowboys. I love the fact of how mysterious they've been during this offseason, the way that they've kept things so close to the chest when it comes to the team. If y'all remember correctly, they did the same thing last year. They didn't run too many exotic schemes and complex plays during the preseason just so they could have the element of surprise during the regular season. But one thing that I love to hear from Jane Slater is how even in his 11th year, Dak Prescott still working on ways to improve his game. Seeing that Javonte Williams ranked in the top 10 of running backs last year, it's going to help out Dak Prescott when he lines up under center. They spoke about that being an area that Dak wants to get better at, and the fact that the defense will have to respect the run while he's under center. This opens up a plethora of Dak Prescott plays where he can be elite in the play action pass. And y'all know, with a good running back, play action is where he strives. And if Cowboys Nation has its way, the tight ends that could be out on the field during play action plays in the jumbo set, that's going to be off the chain, Cowboys Nation. Players like Jake Ferguson, Brevin Spanford, and if Cowboys Nation has their way, Michael Trigg. The first two tight ends have reliable hands, and I hope that during training camp, Trigg can establish himself as a reliable target as well. I'm also glad that they recognized that their red zone efficiency wasn't that great last year. Like Clayton Adams said, when you're out on the field and the field shortens, you have to use sideline to sideline in order to punch it in for 6. Use every blade of grass that's available to you, except for the blade of grass that's behind you. You know what I'm saying? But I feel that the second year of this offense being together, it's going to be off the chain. I feel that the red zone efficiency will be cleared up a little bit more than it was last year. Looking at the current roster, the Dallas Cowboys have a number of red zone threats on the team already. Players like Jake Ferguson, Brevin Spanford, Michael Trigg, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Ryan Flournoy, Javonte Williams, and Phil Maffa have the ability to punch it in for 6 if given the opportunity. And yes, I'm staking my claim right now. Phil Maffa will make this team. And I love the fact that they're talking about moving George Pickens around to exploit the defensive arrangement out on the field. You can line the offense up in trips and early downs, motion Pickens to the slot, and make barbecue chicken out of any linebacker that's out on the field for the defensive side of the ball. We know that Pickens is more than just a 50-50 jump ball guy. Last year, he showed us that he's a monster in running the slant route. So if you can have a chance of putting him against the linebacker, that's the way to go. And I hope that we all know that this just doesn't apply to George Pickens. We've been moving CeeDee Lamb around that offense for years. This is why it's so important to keep those guys together on the same team while adding threats to the lineup. Let's not talk about trading George Pickens for Max Crosby anymore. George Pickens is a Dallas Cowboy. And why you want to keep these guys on the same team is because the defense doesn't know how to deal with it. You can have CeeDee Lamb out on the field, George Pickens, Ryan Flournoy, and Jake Ferguson out there at the same time, and it's pick your poison. But to keep it a buck, Cowboys Nation, this coaching staff is really impressing me this offseason. Brian Schottenheimer wants to run more padded practices to get these guys into game day shape. It preaches more aggression, and it puts the team into what they'll be wearing during the games. That's why I hate OTAs, because everyone's wearing attire that they won't be wearing during the games. This is why I don't put too much stock into the 40 times during the combine, because ain't no player going to be wearing no underwear out on the damn field during game day. Quickly get them acclimated to being in pads so that their learning curve is small during the preseason. But I can't wait to see the defensive installs from Christian Parker. How much communication is going to be out there on the field during the game. The formations that they're going to line up pre-snap and what they'll evolve into post-snap. How Christian Parker will scheme his weapons into advantageous situations out on the field to take the ball away. It's going to be something to see during training camp, Cowboys Nation. So I cannot wait for this training camp to get here and get rolling. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it out to Oxnard's training camp this year, but I will be glued to social media to see the clips provided by those who do make it out to Oxnard. I hope each joint practice is recorded, even the joint practice when we go to Los Angeles. I want them to be recorded so that we can see the team in action before the preseason. Most importantly, I pray that each one of our players is able to stay healthy throughout training camp as well as the regular season and hopefully into the playoffs. If the Dallas Cowboys are going to try to make a run toward anything, they're going to need all hands on deck. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Cowboys Nation, what did you think about what Jane Slater had to say on Good Morning Football? On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with the Dallas Cowboys team right now? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and you want to help get the word out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video, share it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device and you haven't used them up yet, make sure you hype this video. Doing so will help get the word out to Cowboys fans. They'll come over to the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel and want to become Angry Cowboys fans themselves. And if you are DC for life and you can't wait for training camp to get rolling like me, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you don't miss anything from the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel. Plus, if you're into Madden 26, College Football 27, or Mortal Kombat Game Talk, check out my other YouTube channel, the Angry Gaming Fan YouTube channel. I'll make sure I put the link to that as well as the gamer tag in the description. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jane Slater for such impeccable reporting for the Dallas Cowboys. It's reporters such as herself that keeps Cowboys Nation informed and excited about the upcoming season. So Miss Slater, hats off to you. Keep up the great work. But I continue to love the way the Dallas Cowboys are moving during this offseason. It really gives me hope for the upcoming season. I know, no, Cowboys Nation, I'm not saying that we're going to the Super Bowl. But what I am saying is with this type of work ethic, going to the Super Bowl is not out of the realm of possibility. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And I'm out. Angry Cowboys fan. You done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.